Hey guys, M4T just doing a quick off-the-cuff video on the Panasonic Lumix event at Photokina in 2018. Hey, what's the deal, Raw Dogs? It's your boy the P-Man, your man, and I'm here to cover the new camera you can see right behind me. It's the Lumix S Series, and so for people who have been following Micro Four Thirds for a while, and if you're anything like me, Micro Four Thirds helped you get into photography because there's always been a high buy-in to really get into photography, and with Micro Four Thirds we saw advances in photo at lighter and smaller camera sizes, as well as advances in video recording. And so for me, that kind of touched all the points, and I was able to get into photography as well as video because of Micro Four Thirds. And so I was very excited about the Lumix event at Photokina 2018 this year in Cologne, Germany, and they made some revelations, and one of those is a full frame series of Lumix cameras called the Lumix S Series. So you can see here, this is the S1R, and then there's also the just the S1 as well. And so Lumix has been at this for like 10 years now, with G1, with the Lumix G1 and the G series being kind of like their main line, and the G1 being the first mirrorless camera since since maybe 10 years now. And so it's come a long way, and now with the S series we're getting a new system at a new format as well. And so what we have here is the S series. It's going to be a full frame lens, so it's no longer the it's no longer like a Micro Four Thirds, kind of like a smaller frame sensors, but actually like kind of full frame sensors. And then it's also using the LMount, which is, you might recognize from kind of like the Leica cameras. So along with that, they're also announcing the the LMount Alliance. And so that what that means is that both all Leica and Panasonic Lumix, and then also the Sigma lens creators, are going to be making some LMount lenses for these cameras coming up pretty soon. And so it's a very exciting time, because I do think that partially thanks to the technologies that were kind of driven by a kind of lower entry consumer market, we're able to see more efficient ways of using technology come out of the use of these cameras, and kind of appealing to kind of this demographic is helping to drive it, because professionals still stick to like one system, and maybe they'll eventually they'll gravitate towards their own. Well, some people will have favorites, but you eventually gravitate towards like other cameras. And right now Sony is doing a pretty good job. They have the best kind of like low light experience as far as I'm aware, and it even got to a point where I was wondering, I'd hate working with lights. And so even right now I've got this huge light in front of me, I've got more lights on the side, and that's the only way for me to be lit up at this high of a quality without you seeing all the blemishes all over my face. And so like low light, and also getting rid of that god-awful grain, which is kind of like cursed everyone with a camera, and anyone who thought getting a mirrorless camera was going to eliminate those problems. Unfortunately it didn't, but hopefully with this new series of cameras and going full frame, you'll be able to get more light onto your pictures, and then you'll be able to get higher quality photos as a result. So let's just get on with it now, because I'm wasting a lot of time. But with this new S series camera, the S1R, let's see if there's a... Oh, they don't have pictures up here. But anyways, so there's the S1R and the S1, and the S1R is going to be kind of like your pure photographer's camera. It's going to have just a dedication to the highest megapixels, which is 47 megapixels, and then they're also going to have the S1, which is kind of more a hybrid photo video, kind of like what people are technically pretty familiar with, and that's going to be 24 megapixels. So it's still pretty good compared to like the other cameras that are currently out in the Lumix system. And so with this new like LMount full frame system, you're going to be having a lot more professional quality cameras in your hands. And so what do we know about this so far? So we know very little so far. We know that they're going to adopt a lot of the technologies they already have, like a dual IS. We're going to have supposed to be like a high-speed autofocus, and also 4K 60p video. And also something worth noting is that there's like weather sealing, and it's weather sealing all over, like on the buttons, on all the basically all the little nooks and crannies that are going to appear. It's going to be weather sealed to the nines. Like you've got uh, Panasonic testing this in -40 degrees Celsius in the like North Pole region and stuff like that. So very exciting to hear about this. They're also talking about in reference to these LMount like Leica style kind of lenses that they're now using for this system. And this is kind of sad that it's going to be like a different lens system, because I don't want to have to invest in another series of lenses if I do switch. But unfortunately, I think that's just the case. It's a full frame camera now, so you're going to have a new system of lenses as well. And so right now they've only announced 3 lenses right now. You can see behind me, you got the 24 to 105 millimeter, and these are talking in full frame terms as well. So it's not like how it is on kind of like the Micro Four Thirds cameras, but you got the 24 to 105 millimeter, you got the 70 to 200 millimeter zoom, and then you got the kind of like the low light nifty 50 millimeter f1.4 style lens. And so these ones are currently available now, or they're going to be available very soon. And the camera S1R and the S1 are coming out early 2019, so very soon. And then by 2020, they've committed to about 10 lenses, which should come in time for the Olympics in Tokyo. So that's very interesting that they're putting their full force behind this new system. And in addition to the alliance that was announced in terms of the lens making alliance, you're going to have Sigma coming out supporting, and you're going to have Leica. And obviously this is new frontier, and there's going to be a lot of early adopters. There's also going to be skeptics who are holding back. But with every new system, there's going to be a rush by kind of risk takers as well. So there's going to be probably a lot more lenses than just the 10 announced by Panasonic and Lumix. And so there's going to be Sigma making their lenses, and there's going to be a whole bunch of them. Now, if you're wondering, are they abandoning Micro Four Thirds? This is not going to be the case. Panasonic has come out strong in saying that we're still supporting Micro Four Thirds, and definitely it's this new system with the S Series of Lumix cameras are going to be for professionals, and it's going to be supported by kind of like this, like a larger kind of professional network. So it's not going to be something where these cameras come out and then what you have is obsolete. In fact, they announced a lens as well for the Micro Four Thirds, just to ensure us that they're not dropping it in any way. So what do we have? We have, let me see, what do we have here? They declared the Leica DG Summilux 10 to 25 f1.7, and that's a zoom lens from 10 to 25, and I think that's on Micro Four Thirds terms, so like in full frame terms it would be a 20 to 50, but it's a 10 to 25 in Micro Four Thirds f1.7, so that's a pretty fast lens, and my guess is that's going to be f1.7 across the whole board. And they've stated basically that each of those degrees from 10 to 25 are going to be equivalent to prime lenses, and so you don't have to buy the individual ones to get the best quality at each of those degrees. You can just have one zoom from 10 to 25 and you'll be covered, and that's a very wide number, and it goes all the way up to, right now you're looking at me through a 25 millimeter lens, and so this is basically the max zoom that it's going to have. How far am I? I'm about a meter away, and so you can say that going down to 10 millimeters, that's a pretty wide image. That's wider than the kit lens that came with my G7. My kit lens was 14 millimeters, and so 10 millimeters, that's very wide. That's very good for pictures. Hopefully there's no distortion, but if not, just keep in mind that Micro Four Thirds is not being dropped. This lens is going to be like, I hope this lens is really good. It's going to be good for photo and video, and I'm going to look into it if the price is right. That's something that could replace pretty much all my lenses except for my zoom lenses, and so I'm gonna look into this, see if it's any good. Hopefully the price is right, as I said, and even if this is kind of just a gesture, a peacemaking gesture, this lens that they announced for Micro Four Thirds, there are all other lenses coming out. Like even if you guys remember the Laowa lens, the they've announced 3 more Micro Four Thirds lenses, and so a lot of people are going to have Micro Four Thirds systems still in their hands. A lot of people just were hyped about the G5 and the G5S that came out recently, and so this stuff is still in play. It's not being abandoned. But anyways, full frame, definitely a step in the right direction, because we're at a point now where we just need more low light performance, and so I'm looking forward to seeing how this looks, how big it is when it's in your hands, because everyone wants the best performance, but everyone also wants like easy handling as well, because when I adapted a wide fisheye, which you guys can check out some of my past reviews on, to my lens, it was the same weight, if not a little bit heavier than my camera, and so it gets really wieldy when you're using these much bigger full frame lenses. And but the benefit of that is that at least there's a chance to the benefit of going to a full frame here is that at least you can adapt full frame lenses to probably Micro Four Thirds as well. So I'm looking forward to that being a possibility. You can get some speed boosters to kind of attach to your camera, and then you could probably take advantage of, even if people start abandoning Micro Four Thirds, you will still be covered with your camera as well. The only issue is that maybe the lenses you have now won't be adaptable in the other direction. So that's the only sad part, I think. But yeah, this is a very interesting event. I'm sorry I don't have any pictures. I didn't expect them not to have any on this website. I watched this event right here, so you can go right to the Panasonic, or you can just Google the Lumix Panasonic at Photokina 2018, and you can see this Photokina, K-I-N-A 2018, and you can watch this 45-minute presentation for yourself. All I did was pretty much just paraphrase it and just give my insight on this, and I think that it's a step in the right direction, because if I'm doubting whether or not I should stay in Micro Four Thirds, and the name of my channel is Micro 4T, so then I think that this was the right move for them, because if I'm looking at Sony saying, hey, they have great low light performance, and right now the bane of my existence is low light issues, and if I'm going to upgrade finally at some point, then I'm going to have to go to a system that can be a lot safer to use in that regard, because nighttime performance is really important. I don't have light all the time. I don't like to shoot during the day all the time, and so I need more low light performance. And with them going full frame, you're going to have a lot more light coming into your camera. You're going to have a lot more sensor to work with. So very excited about this. This actually makes me feel less bad about going on vacation this year. I'm finally going to take that vacation I've been talking about, because if you guys are following me, then you'll know that I was supposed to go like 2 years ago. I was supposed to go last year, and now I'm supposed to go. Now finally it's locked in. I'm going this year. I'm probably not going to take my camera with me, because it's going to be Mexico, and so I'm just going to have to relax while I'm there, and I think I've earned it. But yeah, hopefully this is well received by not just me, and hopefully this solidifies the Lumix brand as we go forward, because I'm a Panasonic guy. I only have like Olympic lenses, but I wasn't really that interested in Olympic. I probably should have been, considering they actually put image stabilization into their cameras first, but now with dual IS, and all this other stuff going on in Panasonic cameras, you eventually catch up. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much it for now. Nothing else to say. You guys want to check this out for yourself. Hopefully you guys enjoy me finally being back. I don't really want to explain why I've been gone. I've had health issues, and you can probably tell by my face that I've slimmed down, and I've actually bounced back to full recovery, and I'm actually at better than worse health than I was before, and it was really bad. So wish me luck in the future, because I'm going to continue this trajectory for my health and for me, and I'm also looking to get back into making videos again. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. Let me know why in the comment box down below, and if you're not subscribed, consider subscribing so I can see you again next time.